Coming at you full-fledged. It's your boy Regg, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube. Coming straight in, man. Hit that like button. Comment at the beginning, middle, and end of the video, man. Share for others to see. Of course, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. And let's get straight into it, man. So, a lot has happened since my last video. And y'all already know how I gotta do. I gotta refresh in y'all mind if y'all forgot. Or I gotta inform you if you didn't know. So, we're gonna get straight into this article, man. And let's get straight into it. Enough with the chit chat. The article is from the Wall Street Journal, and it reads, WWE's Vince McMahon paid women over $12 million to hide alleged misconduct, infidelity. This was written by Mike Chiari. I think that's how you pronounce his name. July 8th of 2022. In the wake of a recent report that WWE executive Vince McMahon allegedly paid a woman $3 million to keep a sexual relationship between them confidential, a new report alleges that McMahon did the same with 3 other women as well. According to Joe Palazzolo, Ted Mann, and Joe Flint of the Wall Street Journal, McMahon paid 4 different women a total of more than $12 million over the past 16 years in exchange for their silence regarding alleged infidelity and sexual misconduct. Among the 3 newest allegations is one from a former WWE wrestler that said McMahon coerced her into giving him oral sex, demoted her, and then declined to renew her contract in 2005 when she refused to engage in additional sexual encounters. The woman and her attorney reportedly negotiated a $7.5 million settlement with McMahon in 2018. In 2008, a WWE contractor reportedly presented the company with new photos McMahon sent her and said he sexually harassed her on a job, leading to a non-disclosure agreement of $1 million, and $1 million payout. The earliest payout was reportedly given in 2006, when a former WWE manager was given $1 million to remain silent about an alleged sexual relationship with McMahon. The allegation that began the WWE Board of Directors' investigation into McMahon originated a few weeks ago, when the board received an anonymous email alleging McMahon had an affair with a WWE employee who was hired in 2019 before leaving in January 2022. McMahon reportedly hired the woman, whose resume says she had attended law school, after meeting her in his condo in Stamford, Connecticut. The 76-year-old McMahon, who has been married to Linda McMahon since 1966, allegedly had an affair with the woman and later paid her $3 million in exchange for confidentiality. In the anonymous email, it was said that McMahon gave her like a toy to WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis, who is also under investigation by the board. McMahon reportedly transferred the woman from WWE's legal department to talent relations under Laurinaitis in 2021. It was also alleged that McMahon suggested raising the woman's salary from $100,000 to $300,000 at one point before the company agreed to raise her salary to $200,000. In the midst of the investigation, McMahon stepped down as WWE chairman and CEO temporarily in mid-June, handing the duties over to his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, on an interim basis. McMahon has maintained his role as WWE head of creative and has even appeared on Raw and SmackDown on a few occasions since stepping down as chairman and CEO. Now, if I read a little bit too fast, you can always go back in the video. But y'all got the information. Y'all got the scoop. Now let me give y'all my analysis. Now, if you all have been paying attention to the channel long enough, y'all know that I'm a big wrestling fan. Now, the origins of me growing up liking wrestling is like any other boy in his childhood. You know what I'm saying? I stayed with my grandparents for a period of time, and they didn't have cable. So on Fridays, you know, we in the house. You know, sometimes my cousins come over. Me and my sisters and our cousins, we all wrestlers, should have a damn battle royal, watching Friday Night SmackDown on the CW or TBS or TBH. If you know that channel number 7 and number 6 is channel 11 for the people who ain't had no cable in St. Louis. You know what I'm talking about. SmackDown was on there. Don't cap like you wasn't watching it back then. But anyway, that's how I was introduced to wrestling around the early to mid 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you like me and you watched WWE product back then, at that time, especially at that time, when society was still a bit different from today, you should not be surprised by anything that's being alleged towards McMahon at all. Now, we done heard it hella times. If you watch wrestling long enough, you done heard your uncle or your granddad or a friend in school say, "Oh man, that shit fake, man. That shit fake." And I mean, it's kind of crazy because you never hear nobody say Spider-Man is fake, or this rapper, what he rapping about is fake, or they just take the entertainment for what it is, you know what I'm saying? Or they suspend their disbelief, especially when it relates to movies. But you know, that's how it is with wrestling. But when you like me, you got a different mindset, a different thought process. You enjoy the art form behind it, you know what I'm saying? And studying this form of entertainment as long as I have, there's been several wrestlers that vary between generations that have said kind of the same thing. And they say that the best wrestlers that have the best characters are the ones that basically are just being an extension of themselves times 10. And I can name hella examples right now. You can the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Randy Poffo. That's one of the biggest ones. If you'd heard the old wrestling stories, go to Casino for Life channel. You know what I'm saying? Go watch the old wrestling stories. Y'all know y'all heard the old wrestling stories growing up. Y'all seen the videos. Y'all done heard your grandpa tell y'all the old wrestling stories. So go back and hear the old wrestling stories about Randy Savage. Even more modern, Steve Austin with Stone Cold, Dwayne Johnson in The Rock. I mean, look at him. He the biggest actor in Hollywood right now. You got Ric Flair. You got so many other examples. You know what I'm saying? They all being themselves, but they just ramping it up times 10. So, with me saying that, this is absolutely true relating to Vince McMahon as well, and the Mr. McMahon character. And here, I'm going to list you just a couple of things the Mr. McMahon character has done over the years when you, in his words, cross the boss. Now, as the Mr. McMahon character on television, well, the real Vince McMahon has once did this. I seen this on a video back then, back when I was like still heavy on wrestling, back like in high school and stuff. I'm still on it, but I really don't like watch it as much as I used to. But I saw this once. It was this video that said Vince McMahon he once pitched this storyline with his daughter. He once pitched this incestuous storyline with his daughter, and man, thank God that shit was scrapped. And they had a little snippet of it on one episode, but they basically just on a SmackDown, but they basically like scrapped it. But he had another example. He had his infamous match between he and his son Shane at WrestleMania X7, WrestleMania 17 back in 2001. And part of their storyline involved McMahon simulating cheating in front of his drug-induced wife, Linda. Now, I told y'all, this is a different era. This is back in 2001, but this is some shit the Mr. McMahon character has done. He did that. He was cheating on his wife was high as hell right in front of him, comatose damn near, and he cheated on her right in front of her. Another thing, the Vince McMahon person is responsible for. He was the mastermind behind the infamous bra and panties matches that the then named divas were involved in the early to mid 2000s. Now, again, if y'all was watching back then, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember them bra and panties matches and them pillow fights and stuff. That was wild. Imagine if that happened today. It's crazy. But and one of the more crazier things he did on air, y'all see it in the thumbnail. I know y'all thinking about, like, what is this? What's this? What's this I'm seeing in this thumbnail? Now, this was in 2001. This was in this storyline. I'm telling y'all, this Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, Shane McMahon storyline that all culminated at WrestleMania X7 in 2001. This is one of my top 5 favorite women's wrestlers of all time. Trish Stratus at the time. She wasn't as good as she became at that time. She was just eye candy at the time, but she became like one of the greatest ever. But at that time, she was a bad person, a bad character, a heel, as they say. And she was accompanying McMahon, trying to get her way up to the top, at the WWE card or whatever. And she was the dude, she was the lady, she was the girl, the chick that Vince McMahon was cheating on Linda with. And eventually they fell out. And Vince McMahon abusing his power like Mr. McMahon abusing his power like the chairman do. Which is crazily, he forced Trish Stratus to strip on live TV and bark like a dog. Like, this is so, hey, y'all gotta go watch this video, man. I'm gonna put a link of it. I'm gonna put a link of it in the description if I can find it, because I haven't seen it in a long time. But man, I ain't one of them. I said this in one of my videos before. I'm not the fun police. I'm definitely understanding the different generations and what was passable at that time. But that you can't translate that to this generation. A lot of people would be traumatized seeing that today. And I can understand how women would feel kind of they would feel a little uncomfortable. They'll feel a little uncomfortable with that, watching that on live TV. It is objectifying, but at the same time, it's entertaining. They don't say the same thing with movies. The parties, I'm pretty sure, were all volunteering, but it's not a good look, especially with what's going on right now. It's not a good look at these storylines that could potentially correlate with the real person. I told y'all Vince McMahon was the head of, he was the mastermind behind the bra and panties matches. And a lot of hardcore fans, a lot of geeks, they like to attribute a lot of marks, as they say in the wrestling community. A lot of marks, they attribute those bra and panties matches to a former TV writer by the name of Vince Russo, who is writing for the WWE, then named WWF, in the late 90s to probably like 2000. Then he went to their competition, WCW. But again, the bra and panties matches were attributed to Vince Russo, who has denied booking one of those matches ever in his career, and several times. And he wasn't even an employee by the mid 2000s. And I'm going to also put link to that video under the description of Vince Russo denying ever being involved in a bra and panties match on WWE television. Now, we read the article, and Vince McMahon in real life has allegedly forced a woman to give him oral sex, demoted her, and declined to renew her contract in 2005. Demoted her and declined to renew her contract in 2005. The woman and her legal team, like they said, they agreed to a $7.5 million settlement. Now, with all that I just explained, I just revealed to y'all that didn't know, tell me the real person, the ordinary character, isn't somewhat of an extension of the real person. They don't have some sort of correlation. We don't even just see this in wrestling. We can apply it to actors. Like, I'm gonna use shout out to Town Biz, man. If anybody watching this, subscribe to Town Business. I think that's his channel, man. I just watched one of his videos a couple of days ago, and this is the perfect example I could think of that y'all will know. If y'all know about Terry Crews and the characters he played, y'all tell me Terry Crews, the characters he played, are not an extension of Terry Crews. Y'all know who Terry Crews is, so that's all I'm saying. Like, y'all know. This is real. Y'all done heard the saying, art imitates life, life imitates art. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm saying. And this is one of the most serious examples today. But, of course, the difference, though, this is real life. This means McMahon has paid women hush money to be silent about crimes that have been committed. Sexual harassment. Quid pro quo. Now, if you don't know what quid pro quo is, I'm going to also leave a link in the description so you can check for yourself what that is. That is also a crime, especially for companies, corporations. That's what it's really for, quid pro quo. Bribery, sexual misconduct, and even the R word. And that's very serious. But as of recording this video, McMahon, I know we just read the article, it said McMahon stepped down in mid-June on an interim basis, but as of recording this video, he has officially stepped down and retired as CEO at 77 years old. The article said he's 76, but he indeed confirmed himself to be 77. And he has been replaced by his daughter Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan as co-CEOs. But of course, McMahon is forever be a family business, but now it's a publicly traded company. It's on the stock market. That happened in 2000. We already know. But publicly traded or not, it is always a McMahon company. So it's always gonna be under the McMahon umbrella. So Stephanie McMahon definitely gonna have more to say than Nick Khan amid these allegations. And a question I have to say for all this is this it for him? Is this it for McMahon? Because relatively speaking, McMahon is getting off scot-free considering the Me Too society we live in. Now, we know about the R. Kelly. He just got sentenced to 30 years in prison, and rightfully so. due to his heinous acts. As y'all know, this is still developing news. I'm going to keep this updated as well. I dropped a video about this not too long ago. Miles Bridges has recently been found guilty of felony domestic and child abuse. And he potentially faces up to 11 years in prison. And rightfully so. And even a more bigger situation than those two. Bill Cosby was recently released from prison at 80 plus years old after, in my opinion, wrongfully being convicted solely off public opinion. Now, of course, I already prefaced that I do not condone anything that these people have done. I said R. Kelly and Miles Bridges should be where they are or should be where they're going, and I'm not going for any of that. I don't condone it. So I'm going to preface that again. But the point of me mentioning those cases and this one with McMahon is that I haven't seen the fervent effort to discipline McMahon the way those men were. And in many cases, McMahon is still being supported as if nothing ever happened or nothing has been reported. Now, of course, the first couple of allegations, I remember those, and nobody really wasn't budging. But when a couple other allegations came, that's when, he stepped down, like they said in the article, in mid-June. And shout out to another channel. I'm going to put his video of Vince McMahon or this whole situation in my description as well. Shout out, subscribe to his channel, the sports and political page of LB, man. So, basically, I just told y'all, as the process was going on, these allegations was coming out, a lot of people weren't taking them serious. But as a CEO and chairman, Vince McMahon, he see these, and as these allegations kept coming out, again, publicly traded company, WWE, on the stock market, the stock kept going down as allegations came out. And knowing that Vince McMahon wanted he wanted that to completely stop affecting the stock of the WWE. So he got out while the getting was good. Like the increase in inflation rates in the housing market. Vince McMahon got in and he got out when the getting was good. He had the chance to, he knew it, and he got out before shit really hit the fan. Now, I explained that situation. I explained the situations of him as an honored character, how that correlate to his personality as a real person. I say all these things in how other people have been swiftly dealt with doing things just as heinous, if not worse. What can this be boiled down to? You know what it can be boiled down to? WWP. Worldwide privilege. AKA rulership. Y'all know the mainstream media loves to make black, quote unquote, black men the face of domestic violence and sexual depravity. Not to mention, McMahon has been longtime friends with former President Donald Trump. A lot of people forget that. They've been friends dating back to the mid-'80s when Trump hosted the first, I think it was WrestleMania 4 and 5, the only WrestleManias to be held in the same venue back-to-back years. In Atlantic City at Trump Plaza. A lot of people don't remember that. But him and Donald Trump have been thick as thieves for like damn near 40 years. So what does this entire situation mean? It means Vince McMahon, at least for now, can still have some influence on the day-to-day operations of $1 billion corporation, because he is still the biggest shareholder in the WWE. So he's still going to have some influence in the company. And he gets to ride off into the sunset as, quote-unquote, the greatest CEO of all time, as some people on social media have dubbed him. So, I think I was pretty understanding in this video of eras and how people interpreted certain acts in eras. But I just wanted to do, a little bit of investigative journalism and kind of put some puzzle pieces together. So, with me saying that, I want to know what y'all think. Am I digging a little too deep into this? Is wrestling just fake? Or was there, was there a time back in the Wild Wild West days of wrestling where it was a group of old creepy ass white men making women do crazy shit on TV? Which one sound more realistic? Am I coming up with conspiracy theories? Is this a symptom or an effect of WWP? I know Vince McMahon owned all the other letters, wrestling organizations, WCW, ECW, NWA, AWA, all that. But does he have WWP? Does he have worldwide privilege? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, comment, share for others to see. Subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. If there's a particular topic you want me to speak on, hit that link in the pinned comment section below. This was your edition of Monday Night Rage, and